That's not the right setting. Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Nook. Today we are talking about a book that I really loved. It's a sequel to Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So Caraval came out last year and it was pretty much a phenomenon. Everybody loved it and I didn't jump on the train until about 2 months ago. And then I stood around and waited for Legendary to come out. So I'm super excited. I read about 200 pages in one night and then I was like, okay, you need to pace yourself because you're gonna finish this book tomorrow and then you're gonna be mad at yourself. I really loved it. I read it in about a week. Like I read the first 200 pages on Tuesday, the day that I got it, May 29th. And then I read, it's about a 400 and some page book and I read the rest throughout the week. So I finished it on Friday. Really have to say, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. And I kind of like it more than I liked Caraval, which is odd because Caraval follows Scarlet. And in my mind, there's Scarlets and there's Tellas, and I'm definitely a Scarlet. So when I found out at the end of Caraval, if you got the paperback, you also got to see 2 chapters of Legendary before it came out. And when I found out that the new book was gonna be about Tella, I was just like, I'm not really a Tella. Her character was cute and all, but like, what does she have to say? And I could not be more wrong. Like, I'm totally Team Tella now. This book, like if you're a Scarlet and you're just like, I don't know how I'm gonna relate to this character because it's so unlike me, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised with Tella's story in Legendary. So basically, Legendary follows right after Caraval ends. It's like a continuation on from the last page of Caraval. At the end of Caraval, spoiler alert, at the end of Caraval there was a party and Tella was there and Scarlet was there. Julian was there and at the end, Tella gets slipped this letter, ominous letter, from somebody who she doesn't really realize who it was. And in the letter, it's basically saying, from a friend, I've helped you make your sister see the light of day, basically, and you kind of know what I'm talking about if you've read Caraval. I don't really want to ruin anything from Caraval because if you haven't read it, like, you should really read it. So being as vague as I can be, and now you owe me something back. There is a relative, a long-lost relative of Tella and Scarlet's that Scarlet doesn't really seem interested in finding, but Tella has really felt a bond with this person, and after they were gone, she was just very heartbroken about it. And this friend in this letter basically says, I know where this person is and you need to do something to help me find her. You need to do something for me to help me find her, for you to find her. So from there on, Tella and Scarlet go on to Belinda, where they're holding a second Caraval in the same year, which is like unheard of. That's never happened before. But it's for the Queen, for her birthday. It's a really big deal. So Legend agrees to do this and they all get on a boat and they go to Beldenna and another Caraval happens, all while Tella's trying to find this person and make sure her sister's okay, and or if you're falling in love, you never know. So that's basically the jump off.
And it's the jump off right here, man.
Like I said before, this book is pleasantly surprising because I am a bookish person and kind of shy, and maybe you don't take risks or whatever. Like, I don't take a lot of risks. I feel like those are the characteristics that Scarlet is, and Tella is like polar opposite of that. She just does. Like, there's no like sitting around thinking about doing something for weeks and weeks and weeks. She's just like, let's do it. And that I attribute so much to my little sister. It's ridiculous. And I'm not sure, but in my life, I've seen that's typically the way things are. And maybe not to this extent because it is a fantasy, but when you have a group of siblings that are all girls or all boys, there are some that are a little bit more reserved, and there are some and then the opposite is usually just like, woo! Like, a total free-for-all. My little sister is that. Like, my little sister is Tella incarnate. She just goes and does, which I'm very envious of. I wish I could just through life with abandon and do whatever I wanted, but I don't know, something holds me back. Responsibility, being the older sister, I think holds you back from doing that kind of thing a lot. So yeah, if you liked Caravel, then I highly recommend picking up Legendary. This is the pre-ordered version. I wasn't aware at the time that I pre-ordered it that Barnes & Noble is also doing like a special edition book that has Stephanie Garber's like annotations throughout chapters and stuff, so I will probably definitely be getting that soon, and then this will go to mom just like the other one did once she finishes Caravel. Again, for this book, totally feel like the same for Caravel. Definitely a Great Gatsby, Baz Luhrmann, Florence and the Machine vibe, and like kind of like a little bit of Taylor Swift, which is weird because I don't really listen to Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift, just because Tella's like blonde and bubbly and like she's just like, you can't really get her down. I guess that's kind of like a Swiftie vibe. Definitely recommend. In the last video that I did for Caravel, which I will link below, I put up a couple of Florence and the Machine songs that I was listening to. I'll do the same for this one. There will be a playlist down below if you want to go check it out, listen to it while you read Legendary. And at the moment, if you're lucky enough to be in any one of these cities, Stephanie Garber is on book tour right now, signing your book, and I highly recommend that you go do it. I was gonna go to the book launching, and then work and everything kind of got in the way of that. Also convincing my boyfriend to get on the motorcycle and ride 8 hours up to where that signing was going on, or where the book release was going on, was like hard. 8 hours on a motorcycle is rough. And we would have been there for the night and then rode 8 hours back because I would have had to be at work the next morning. So it just didn't work out. I wish it would have. I wish Stephanie Garber, please come to Vegas. Or somebody, or somewhere closer in the California area. So yeah, definitely pick up Legendary no matter what if you read Caravel. If you haven't read Caravel, what are you doing? Read this book. Read it. I think these could quite possibly be my favorite books read this year. Maybe. I don't know. Also, a couple days before Legendary came out, she released that Finale will be the third and last book coming out maybe next year, I think, of the trilogy, of the Caravel trilogy. So, I'm so excited. This book, like the way this book ends, not gonna spoil it, but like there obviously needs to be a third book because I'm obsessed. And the people that I talk to online, once they read Caravel, they're like, yes, I am obsessed. Thank you guys for watching. Give this video a like if you liked this video. If you did not, give it a dislike, and I will see you guys next time.